On this week's Food Truck Diary, we got Harrison Rogers, the UFL CEO, and then my man, UFC Pride legend, Rampage Jackson. I'm feeding him tasty barbecue. Let's go. Fellas, welcome. The crew is back. We're here to get a little update on all things UFL, and then obviously Rampage. I mean, you've been here a million times.
Yeah, I love it here.
Yeah, I mean, you used to work here. I gotta pay you more.
I know, man. What's
By
up?
pay you more, I mean start paying you anything.
Anything. You know, I want to be a thick boy because I'm thick, boy.
But you're getting you're a little less thick. Last time we saw you, bro.
I know you made fun of me last time. I was like, I was in my legs. Yeah. I watched that again. That's
so funny. So funny. You look good though, man.
Oh, thanks, man.
You went to Thailand and got some work in with Bob
with
Sapp.
Bob Sapp, yeah.
And then you just decided to did you start deciding to lose weight in Thailand?
I didn't lose a pound in Thailand.
Because the food?
Yeah.
Because you're running from Ladyboys.
I was running from the Ladyboys. I should have lost some weight. No, I didn't lose that much weight in Thailand. What I did though, I kept the momentum going, and because I had started training with one of my good friends. He'd been my friends for a long time. He's like a fitness model. And then when I came back, I went back to work with him. He said, "Man, you lost strength. So I started working really hard, and he put me on this fasting and no sugar and no carbs, and the weight just started falling
Yeah, you
off.
probably lost 40 pounds at least? How much?
Nah, I think like 20 pounds.
See, I was trying to do something.
Yeah, you trying to. Yeah.
What did you lose? Like 80 pounds? Though? You know, that's how girls do it. Girl, what you lose? 100 pounds? Like, nah, man, 10. But anyways, I'm trying.
Yeah.
And Harrison, things are off and rocking with UFL, man.
I can't wait to get into it. Yeah, there are things that are moving, shaking, especially with Rampage. So, man, when we have time after this food, I don't know if we get into the details here. Or
We can get food first. I'm starving. I know you starving, Daddy.
No,
you're not on a diet.
I'm not supposed to eat till 5 o'clock.
I know, but
I'm gonna pretend it's 5 o'clock.
oh, we'll put a thing in the bottom that says
Yeah.
5 p.m.
Yeah, it's 5 p.m.
That
yeah.
counts.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah,
Sean.
Yeah. So
don't-
let me.
Yeah, hopefully you
We'll
don't see
grab
this.
food and then let's get into all this juicy stuff.
All right, let's
Let's
do
do
that.
it.
Yeah.
What's up, brother? Good to see you again, man.
See you, man. Thanks for having us.
I'm stuck between the big bad wolf and the three little piggies.
Three Little Piggies is the #1 item for sure.
All
It's
right,
probably the most popular one here.
I'll do the three little piggies.
Three Little Piggies.
I'll also do the Uncle Al's tacos,
Do you want to do that with brisket, pulled pork, or barbecue mushroom?
brisket,
Gotcha.
barbecue mushroom. And then I'll do the street corn
Street corn.
and the creamy potato salad.
Potato salad. Easy.
You know I gotta go with that big bad wolf because I'm
Gotcha,
yeah.
I'm
I
a
think it's
werewolf.
really fitting for you, bro.
Yeah, yeah. I gotta go with.
On brand with that one.
I gotta go with that. And what's up with those tacos?
Tacos are good, man. Pulled pork is good. Both
Yeah,
of them
yeah.
are good, honestly.
I like pulled pork. Yeah,
You want to do pulled pork tacos?
yeah. Pulled pork tacos. We can put some extra pulled pork on there.
Gotcha.
And 'cause I'm gonna be pulling all that pork and putting it in my mouth. Wait, that doesn't sound right.
No, get that meat in your mouth, dude.
No, fuck all
Pause.
that.
I'll do the three
Yeah, the piggies
piggies.
don't have anything on there. It's just barbecue sauce and mustard barbecue, and that's not spicy at all. It's more sweet if anything.
Perfect.
Thank you, sir.
Anything else?
That's it,
Beautiful.
brother.
Dreaming as an underdog, but now I'm on my way. Stayed up every single night and hustled every day. I've been going so hard. Now I'm on my way. Like, oh my God.
All right, boys, let's dig in. Your coach is gonna be so
He's
upset.
gonna be mad at me.
Because you're doing 24-hour fast.
Yeah.
So you stop eating at 5 p.m.
Yeah, I'm breaking my fast. It's 1 o'clock.
I know. Sorry, dude. You know.
Hey,
Blame it on me.
I'm blaming you. Hey, it's lucky I like you. I won't break my fast with
I
nobody.
know, man. I appreciate it.
Unless it was
You know
a
I
hot
love
chick,
you.
I break my fast
Oh,
for
yeah.
a hot chick.
Yeah, of course. She's like, yo, meet me here and have these chicken tenders or
Yeah,
whatever.
ask my son, don't I be having some hot chicks? Can't see my son laughing at me.
He's all, yeah, he
I be
does.
having some dogs over.
So we got, just for the viewers listening out, we got Rampage son here. Correct me, Raja, right?
Yes, sir.
Boom. What's up, man?
How you doing?
You got your pops here.
Yep.
Yeah, now, you came on my radar. Us in the UFL, you had your fight there was not too long ago. You won the fight. It was an amateur fight. And then I'm with you. I think it's time to go pro, but your dad seemed to be a little bit of a hater on that.
Yeah, I mean, I understand where he's coming from though, because especially after that fight, I do have a lot of stuff I still need to work on.
Yeah.
And from 3 minutes to 5 minutes is a big jump, even though it doesn't seem like
Huge difference.
So, you know, I do agree with, but at the same time, I'm getting older too, you know, and it's starting to become, you know, harder, especially in the gym. Like everything is starting to move at a different pace now. So I got.
How old are you?
23.
I mean, not that old, my man.
Yeah,
I thought.
I feel.
I'm
old,
getting
though.
older. My back hurts. Damn, you're 23.
I feel old. I feel old. Though.
Do you from the training?
Yeah.
Do you feel pressure having Rampage? I mean, straight up UFC legend, Pride legend as your dad, and then following the same footsteps. Like Michael Jordan's son sucked at basketball.
Yeah. See, when I hear that, you know, I'm like, you know, it gets to me sometimes, but you know, I do, you know, do my best to not let that bother me. You know?
Yeah, it's a lot. Do you feel pressure?
A little bit. Sometimes.
It's tough.
Yeah, it is tough.
How come you never told me anything about that?
You don't talk to him like I do.
No, because see, I do stuff to not. I don't like thinking about it. To be honest, I really don't like thinking about it.
It is tough. It's not like
You know,
he's just some dude.
You do a good job. Like you tell me, you shouldn't feel no pressure. You tell me that all the time, so I keep that in the back of my head. So
That doesn't really help, does it?
No,
you know,
I wish
that-
I wish he did everything I told him. I walked in the room the other day, and he had some big fat white chick in there, spread eagle. He was eating her ass.
I got it from him though.
Bro.
You see, he told on himself earlier.
Shoot, dude.
Dude, I was like,
I
son,
learned
you
it from
can't.
him.
I'm like, son, you can't be eating no big fat chick's ass.
Yeah, good way to get pink eye, Mr.
Yeah,
Fight.
you get pink mouth.
Right
Yeah,
in
bro.
front of her?
Yeah, right. But the thing, when I walked in there, he didn't even stop. Like he didn't care.
Yeah,
That was
I mean-
the disrespect.
Apple don't fall from the tree, my man.
Shit, I don't eat no ass.
That's how he breaks his fast. What are you talking about?
You make your fast just for ass. But yeah, for you, besides eating big girls' asses, I mean, you're 23. Did you know you were going to go down this route? Like, obviously, your dad has some wisdom. Not eating ass, as far as professional fighting. But you know, you got one of the best fighters to ever do it in your corner. So I'm sure you felt like that this could be a good route for you to go down. I mean, don't get me wrong, with your dad's Rampage, Bruce Lee, fucking Fedor, it's a tough gig, man, no matter who you are. You know, it's just a tough way to make a living. And I'm sure you see it from your dad's perspective, too.
Yeah. I always enjoyed, like, because I used to go to the gym with him sometimes. I always used to enjoy that, you know. I see how hard he worked and stuff, and I was like, I'm a big fan of, like, hard work, especially, like, you know, I liked working out anyway. I've been watching him train since I was, like, 7 years old, or even younger, but that's when I really started seeing, like, okay, this, and I knew it was going to get big because you saw it, like, on TV. Like, they were starting, even back then, like iCarly, it was big. You know, it was big. It was getting traction. Here Comes the Boom, all that
That's
stuff.
true. Like, iCarly's doing, like, arm bars and shit. My
Yeah.
son watches that show. That's
Yeah,
why
and
I was like, oh, wow, look, you're executing an arm bar. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. They even parried him on there, too.
Oh, they did,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, that's right.
What, they did what?
They parried you on there.
I went
Yeah.
on iCarly.
No, you still got it.
No, they did, like, they used, like, basically your likeness
Yeah,
On there.
they used somebody that
to mimic you, like,
Yeah, to
howling.
mimic, yeah.
For real?
Yeah.
How come they didn't give me a check?
we got to take him to court. It was,
Take it up with Nickelodeon. Let me know how
Yeah.
it goes for you.
yeah.
But also, what made your dad different too? Obviously, exceptional fighter, but he had a personality too.
Yeah.
Like your dad's not even a comic. All I do is hang out with comics. Your dad's one of the funniest people I've ever met.
Yeah, me too.
You know, like he's great, but then
Yeah.
that personality on camera too. Like I'm sure you've seen some of his like pre-fight interviews, post-fight interviews, like viral.
I don't know if you watch that stuff.
I do. It pops up on my feed a lot. It's funny. Like the thing is, I don't need to watch it because I got him at home. You know, and he cracks jokes 24/7. I can't stop laughing even now. You know, it's fun. And, you know, he's a fun dad. He's a really cool dad. You know.
How come you don't listen to me?
He didn't ground you for eating ass. That's cool. My dad would have grounded me, man.
Yeah, I
but
should.
what
He was
advice?
10 years old when I caught him doing that. Should have grounded him.
Yeah, at least.
At least.
At least.
This girl, though, she sounds really chill for, you know, this whole father-son conversations happening while she's spread eagle.
Yeah,
and, you know,
she didn't get ashamed or nothing, and he kept going. Like I
Open
wouldn't.
environment.
that's a different world for
I
me.
just closed the door quietly.
Yeah, good for you. What advice did you give him when he said he wanted to start fighting? You know what I'm saying? You can only do so much.
If I'm gonna be honest, didn't know how I felt about him fighting, and he started wrestling, and when he started wrestling, I was really proud of him because he started late just like me, like when he was 17, and I'm like, okay, he's gonna do something positive. And then he wanted to start fighting, and he started hanging out with Antonio McKee. And I was like, oh, okay, he already chose like the best coach.
Hang out with the boys, yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, oh yeah, go ahead. I'm just gonna step back and let him coach you, and I just tell you some of the things that work for me.
Yeah.
So I told
You
him,
try not to be overbearing, right? It's tough, man.
Yeah, I think that's what fathers mess up a lot of times. They don't make it fun for them. They're like they're too much in their face and
Put
stuff.
too much pressure.
Yeah, and that's why I knew he was gonna have some pressure, but I didn't know he was having that much pressure. So I stay away a lot. I don't go to a lot of the trainings. I stay away a lot, and I just show him the cover and roll. I show him a couple of defenses to certain MMA moves. But other than that, Coach McKee, and he got a coach named YL. What's YL last name?
Watson.
Yeah, YL Watson.
I know YL. Yeah, he fought in the UFC.
Yeah.
The black dude tatted up.
Yeah.
Taller.
That's one of his coaches.
Yeah, he's a stud.
He's dope.
And he trains he be sparring and moving around with AJ. So I'm like, man, he got some great people around.
I assume a lot you could help him on like the business aspect of it.
Yeah, I try to teach him that, but
like your dad signed some deals. I don't know what allowance he gave you as a young man, but your dad signed some deals that he probably should have put up more money for you.
Don't listen to him.
Deals, man. I mean, he was one of the main dudes, with the Affliction, all that, the Extreme Couture tees, the monsters, like nuts.
Yeah, we got talking about those Extreme Couture tees in your last episode. I don't know if
we
you
talked
remember
about
that. Well, that's water under the bridge, though.
Yeah, that's water under the bridge.
But it's really fun to watch you guys in UFL specifically coming up because, we've had Frank, we were talking about Bella, and I don't know if I'm weird. I see the simulation. I see all the things connecting, and I'm maybe too theological or whatever. But with UFC legend, MMA upcoming, and these new upcoming talents that are, I think, the future promotion of UFL. It's really cool to see these legends to legacy to upcoming. So,
I mean, how long can we do this though? Because you got Rampage, you got Raya, you got Bella, you got Frank, Randy Couture's son fought.
I think we can get Tito's son from ASU to decide if he's going to fight or not.
You think so?
I mean, Tito says he didn't want him to, and that but
I don't know the age limit. My
wrestling?
son's 7. I feel like he'd be up for it.
Let's get you on the card.
Yeah, 7-year-old.
Who?
They got a 7-year-old strapped right now. Yeah.
Is he training?
Yeah, he does jiu-jitsu, but 7's a little too young to start. But I mean, when you look at it, it's like I don't know.
Let's get him some shares early.
How many? Yeah, because also it's tough too because fighting comes from the streets, man. Fighting comes from the gutters. That's what Tyson said.
Oh, yeah.
I said, you don't start fighting because you got a lot of options. I said, fighting comes from the street.
Right.
He looked at me with the most intimidating. Goes, no, fighting comes from the gutters. He's like, not this. It comes from the fucking gutters. Yeah. He's like, I got out fighting when because I had other options. He's like, I don't want to do that shit.
Right.
So it's tough with your dad being Rampage, and obviously Rampage grew up. Your dad quit and grew up different than you did, right? Like fighting was an option for him. Obviously, he's had a lot of success, so it's tough to instill that in you because the reason he started fighting probably different than the reason you started fighting. That's where it gets dicey.
Yeah, I don't think he's hungry as I was at 23.
You were fighting to eat. You know what I'm saying? You're fighting to make a name.
Right.
So it's just that's why the pressure's on you. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Yep.
But you fight with that pressure. Well, you were. I don't know if you want me to say this, but you were in the back, nervous for UFL too.
I'd be worried if you
He
weren't.
was throwing up.
I'm like, do I divulge? Do I let you talk about this? But you came out.
That's normal.
Like that fueled you,
Not
and
for
it was
me.
crazy to. No.
Never threw up.
Well, I never threw up, but you were nervous. You can't say you weren't nervous.
Yeah, nervous is normal, but I've heard of fighters throwing up.
I've heard of big names throwing up.
Yeah.
Crying in the back before they go. Don't let that's just a level of.
Yeah, I told him it was normal.
That's IQ. Like you should be scared.
And we've talked about it on several episodes where you're like, I hated fighting people that were scared.
Yeah, I hate fighting cowards.
No.
Now I know they're scared.
Oh,
they're scared like that. Yeah.
You put it.
I hate when people are scared fighting because you get an extra boost of adrenaline that I don't get because I'm not as scared as you are.
Yeah.
Cowards.
Yeah, that's what I call him. Look, when I fought with Shaw Evans, He had extra. He
Bitch ass coward.
Yeah, John Jones. He came in. That's the
I
first
didn't
time-
say that, Rashad.
I can say
was
it.
quoted.
Rashad's my buddy.
I know.
I'm shot my buddy too, but fuck them. When I was fighting, fuck them. I lost to them, and that's something that you never forget. You know, you don't forget none of your losses. Like my wins, I don't think about those that much.
I was just going off of the soundbite
That he does?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bitch
I'm
ass
with you.
coward.
Yeah, because John
Not
Jones
for
come in
me.
the cage crawling and shit, and I was like, what the fuck did I do? It's the part of me I wanted to kick him in his face, but I knew I was going to get disqualified.
Yeah, it's illegal, my man.
I know.
Yeah.
So I'm like, but what do I do? I never seen nobody do that.
Me neither.
At that time,
Nuts.
no one's ever come up to you crawling.
Oh, I thought you meant
Yeah,
nobody's
like no,
kicked
he was down, like so you couldn't kick him. And he was
couldn't
just
do
down.
nothing. Yeah, I'm like,
And then John Jones tried to take over that,
what?
crawling out.
That's what he did.
No, that's his thing.
That's his thing.
He's the one that started.
He the one started.
John Jones?
Yes.
Oh, Rashad did it after John Jones?
No. I fought.
Rashad's was different. Rashad would do some of it, but John really took it another level. But it's also weird with you fighting, like as much experience as your dad has. There's really no way to like kind of articulate like dealing with those nerves, like something you have to figure out. Like he can tell you, oh, don't worry, it's part of the process. Like this is normal, but it's just you with experience learning how to those butterflies and the anxiety, getting it to work in your favor. You know,
Yeah.
like there's nothing anybody can do. It just comes with experience. You know.
Yep. What did you think about fighting on the same card?
Oh, I'm excited for it. I'm
Oh,
really
you guys
excited.
announced that? They're going to fight in the same card?
We're announcing it here, right on Thick Boy.
That's the plan?
Yeah, I'm down to do that. I want to find like a good opponent.
We need a good opponent. It's going to be at heavyweight.
It'll be a heavyweight. What about your boy Titties?
Scoot over?
Yeah.
He hasn't fought in forever, man.
Me neither. I haven't fought in 3 years.
I know, but, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if he's active. Is there anybody else in mind,
Me and Shannon, but we're gonna do
Shannon
a boxing.
Briggs?
Yeah, me and Shannon. We're gonna do a
There's
boxing
no-
match. He never done MMA, I don't think.
I wonder if you do agree to MMA, but
He did say he would.
I'm saying with no takedowns. Like you just make a promise to not take each other
What the
down.
fuck? How's that MMA? I want to slam him.
Yeah, true.
Ooh,
I like slamming people.
he's big, right? Like how?
He's bigger than me.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
But I mean, like,
He's like.
are you slamming?
Yeah, I think he's
Oh,
like
he can
6'4".
slam.
He's like 6'4", 6'6".
Yeah, he's big.
He's
6'4".
big. I met him.
Yeah.
He's big. He's twice
Yeah,
my
he's no
size.
punk.
Can
Yeah.
you pick that up?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
strong as fuck.
Yeah.
Man, I'll be a man one day. I just couldn't imagine. He's not gonna try to get you in a triangle though, so you're not.
He ain't gonna try to get me in shit. He don't even know how to train.
No.
What is that? What is that?
But I'm trying to think of the free agents out there. It's tough, man.
Sean, don't look.
It's tough with the free agents out there. I mean, you look at like PFL.
Yeah.
It's like these people chasing UFC. It's tough. You look at the Bellator's roster. You look at PFL's roster. It's just tough, man.
That's why I said
tough to
titties.
compete.
I mean, Derek Shaw now.
That's gonna be a tough sell, man. Right? I mean, you guys have your history from The Ultimate Fighter 10, which
All
was
right, but what if he
13 years ago, right?
Yeah, what if he gets paid handsomely? Harrison's rich.
I don't.
No, dude,
might have
not
to
anymore,
check
man.
in.
Man, UFL and F3 was a big lift, but it's taken off now. I'm excited to talk about. What were you about to say? I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
I mean, with this Vegas thing that we're going to tomorrow, I was looking at the audience because I'm super excited. I don't know if you guys normally bring in the audience
Go ahead.
with your eyes, but get ready because F3 and UFL is going into enemy territory of Vegas. But you got to, especially as an
crazy.
energy drink.
Yeah, that's
Like,
crazy though. You
but-
go to the belly of the beast.
Belly of the beast. I mean, and people are gonna hear that and be like, "Oh my gosh, they're already trying to fight UFC," and that's not at all. Like, I'm excited for UFL to be a completely independent. UFC will always be UFC, but UFL is gonna kind of be that, league. We've talked about phase 2. It's a totally different model. We now have franchises, we have teams, but they take care of their fighters. It's like an NBA where they don't even need a union because they have these fighters that own a piece of the company. They make good money, but they also have health insurance. They have people that are actually advocating none of this Jake Paul sound bites. And I keep getting told, don't try to send out any. I'm not trying to pick fights or trying to call anybody out, but I just love that we're actually doing what we say we're going to do.
But yours is different, though, and not defend Jake. He's a buddy, but what Jake Paul and Anderson Silva are trying to do, they're trying to do it on like a different scale, right? Because they're trying to unionize the UFC athletes.
Yeah.
Different animal.
Totally.
Like what you're doing, you're starting from scratch, and those guys are coming in
Yeah.
with rights. You know what I'm saying? So what they're trying to do and rally the troops there, they're fighting a battle that no one's ever won.
Yeah. And that's
Like
why
trying
I
to
feel like
overtake Afghanistan. It doesn't happen.
Yeah, and that's why I feel like it's kind of like an easy thing to say is because you know it's an unwinnable thing. It's like
I disagree. I know Jake well. He actually wanted to make a change, and he doesn't. And I did too. I was involved in it when they hired the head guy that came from MLB, the lawyer, to get all the fighters together. And I was like, oh, we have the perfect team. And then once you get to the nitty gritty, you're like, oh, this isn't happening. And I think Jake had good intentions, and it did get him a lot of clicks and stuff like that, and it was good sound bites. But I think at the end of the day, he was like,
there was good intention behind it.
I think originally.
Oh, good.
But if he keeps going with it, now we know. But I think originally he was like, oh, I can make a difference. And then once you peek behind the curtain, you're like, oh, no, I'm not going to do shit. Like, it's just you're fighting a battle that it's sealed tight right now, airtight.
So you got to do it differently. It's a different battle.
Which you guys are.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
Shout out to you guys, which you guys are doing it right from the jump.
Thank you. And it's expensive as hell. But, you know,
There's a reason why they don't.
Yeah, there's a reason. But it's the long haul. You know, you have to be able to survive the 5-10 years to get an audience, get people knowing that you're not just going to fizzle out, and that's what we're doing. Is we're going to do it right and smart. But, you know, these gimmicky things. Maybe we should jump on that bandwagon and try to get a huge payday. Just because, I mean, Elon, Mark, all the Paul stuff. It's like, how much money do you think these fights can actually make? And do we sell out and do a gimmick every once in a while?
Yeah, that's a tough road to go down. For the UFC, it's a little different. I see two sides of it. As a businessman, like, is it a gimmick? Does it take away from the UFC? I don't know. They're so established. I think they should do it, and maybe Dana White's involved, but it's not under shouldn't be on a UFC pay-per-view. That's insane. But that's what those guys want to do. It just shows you if you're rich and famous enough, you can do anything. Within the UFC fight space. You can't do it in the NFL, NBA, NHL, MLB. They're not going to have it. But UFC's this weird kind of outlier where it's like we'll entertain this. And it's a gimmick, no matter how you paint it. It's a gimmick.
You
but
call
then
that out
it's for sure a gimmick, but
it makes sense.
It doesn't make sense to have two guys who can't fight and sell on a pay-per-view. That's why I don't think it should be under the UFC ban. I think Dana should be involved, but do it somewhere else, man.
Be on Slap.
I guess, yeah. Do it so it would be huge and they'll make money.
It don't have to be. It could be still be in an octagon in a cage or something, but Dana can promote it and just somewhere else and not call it a UFC.
You know what we should
You know
do?
what I'm saying? It shouldn't be on
Like
the UFC
you get up
banner,
like the UFC's brains behind it, but it shouldn't be the main event over like Izzy, Duplessis, or Robert Whittaker, or you know, like these legit fighters. 'Cause you know this, like.
Right.
Part of me is like, man, that's so fucked up. It's like, you know how hard I worked to get in the UFC, man? Like, the amount of, that's insane. And these two rich dudes who can't fight just because they're rich and famous get to jump as a main event. So part of me feels that way. And part of me as a businessman goes, that's going to make all the money in the world.
Yeah.
And then they go, but we're doing it for charity. That's fun for them to say and act like they don't need money. The amount of money that the UFC will generate off this is insane.
UFC ain't doing shit for charity.
No.
On that fight. But Zuckerberg and Elon Musk, I'm sure they'll get the money to the charity. But I understand exactly what he's saying. So they don't have to do it on the regular UFC card and make it a main event. They could even bring up some young talent that they got and just throw them on there. People are going to come to see the main event. You just slap some.
I guess the argument for that is like, so let's say it's the biggest pay-per-view of all time, whatever. They think it does 20 million pay-per-view buys, which I totally disagree with. But let's say it does, I don't know, 10 million. The argument with that would be like, okay, well, those people tuning in, do we stack the card below them so people get more in tune with our stars and hopefully they stick around?
Oh, yes.
You know, so it benefits those guys.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it works. I don't know if it works like that though.
Yeah.
What did Chael say? He's like, it was gonna be like 1 billion pay-per-views or something.
Who said
that?
Chael.
Yeah.
Sonnen. He's
That
like,
boy's wild. Yeah.
But so I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, but I think if UFL gets a bigger name and Harrison doesn't just like, who's this wannabe saying something? But I would love to box Dana. I'm gonna get a lot of hate for that. But he was a boxer, right?
Yeah, Dana kick your ass, Harrison.
I'm not
He's
trying
jacked
to.
right now.
I'm not trying to say like.
He has some
I'm gonna
anger too. He'd be a problem.
But if we're gonna do a gimmicky fight, if UFL gets big, you know, obviously F3, but like we become a contender, and there's like not this guy's punching up. Harrison's trying to get noticed. When it's established, I would love to say, I'm a wannabe fighter. I have those 3 amateur fights that I shouldn't even talk about because back then it was smokers. It was glorified.
Hey, it's a fight.
backyard.
It's a fight. You one of us.
And so I feel like I am at that stage where Dana was back when he was trying to call out Tito, when he was just like, oh, I want to be a fight, whatever. I don't know if that's what he did, but I'm just saying that's how I feel. I'm like, I get that itch of like, oh, I see all these people kicking, ass, and I think I could do that, and I'm totally not. It's not reality. But if I can get one of those itches done with a Dana gimmick boxing match,
Dana's gonna be a tough one to go for, my man.
just saying there's a lot of money there.
I don't think Dana would do it.
And I would say, and I would be serious, all that money would go to the fighters of whoever won. Like, I'm sure.
Would your wife let you do it?
If it got me in shape.
But I'm sure so. Like we call them gimmick fights, and we're headed back that way. It's like a lot of back in even the Bellator days when they did like the Dada 5000, Kimbo Slice, the Hoist Gracie fighting whoever, the Ken Shamrocks, like those old heads. It's a weird thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like the UFC's gonna be fine because they're so established, but for these other leagues that do it, doesn't seem like there's any longevity in it. Doing like those weird kind of gimmick fights.
Yeah.
But it has to be enticing for UFL because there's some big names out there they could sign. They're not going to be around for long, but it's going to get eyeballs.
I know, and that's where I don't want to be.
Your challenge is you want to bring in young talent, but nobody knows who they are, even though they're great fighters.
Totally.
But so it's not getting eyeballs, but you got a business, so you can see why people, they're like, yeah, let's toss in,
No, I can't wait for people to tune into UFL 3 in August because it's our semifinals for our Grand Prix. Some of these fights that are now rematches, because some of the fighters have gone up through our feeder league, Freedom Fight Night, who have beat each other, kind of a controversial knockout, like, holy crap, this guy should have knocked him out. Now they're facing each other in the semifinals, who they have both beat the same person now to get there. Mm-hmm. It's really cool that these talented fighters are going to start getting the face time that we need them to have for us to start getting noticed. Their success is our success, and that's how a promotion should be. It shouldn't be like It shouldn't be like fighters take it or leave it. This is what we're all like. No, let's grow together. You guys are legit shareholders of the company. Obviously, our success is your success, but we need to invest in you as well. And this first Grand Prix is gonna show that. I love it.
Well, hopefully we see a fight with you guys on there.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I can corner my son, and then he can corner me if I'm like the main event.
Get that big white girl in the corner too. She's earned it, bro.
All she had to do was lay there. I'm not even sure she was clean.
It's work. It's work. You guys got a lot going on, man.
That's fun.
That's exciting. We need to find you opponent.
Yeah, we need
Find
to
Frank.
We need to find you opponent too. You got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, there's a lot of work.
He's had a couple that just look at it and then they say,
At his level, that happens all the time. It's tough to get people to sign up for it, especially if he has a name, then they know his dad and the team he trains with. You get some kid training at his mom's gym. He's like, God damn, I'm not ready for this.
Yeah, that's the main reason why I decided for him to go pro now, because I was going to wait till he had like 10 fights, but it was getting harder and harder to get people to fight him for free.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, so I'm like,
at least you can. The pros, they're not going to back out. You can control a little bit of who he's fighting too.
Yeah.
Because your dad will tell you this. It's a marathon, not a sprint, man. You gotta take your time. There's no rush, especially at 23. No rush. Yeah. But you got a good mentor here, man. One of the best. So appreciate you guys, man. Hopefully this barbecue didn't mess up your diet too bad.
You messed me up.
I'm sorry, man. I don't feel.
You know what? You didn't make me eat all of it. I could have just faked around like.
Yeah, you could went nuts.
Yeah, but I ate too. I did eat too much. It was too good, man.
It was so nice.
good. It was
I
good.
feel sick, but it was great.
I might get some more.
Yeah, get you whatever you need. You don't have to fight for a little bit, so you can
he
stock
don't
up.
get no more. He fights at 155 now. He's walking around weighing like 180.
Hell yeah.
He got to lose that weight.
No,
Yeah.
I'm lower than that now.
What are you?
182.
He lifted that big girl up. So.
Yeah, he's like.
Oh yeah, man. After the fight, I was so happy. I just ate. That's all I did.
Hell yeah.
I shouldn't have done it though. He was.
He don't listen to me. I told him.
But I appreciate you guys, man. No more barbecue.
Yeah, no more. Thank you for having us.
I don't want to get in trouble with your dad. Yeah.
Okay.
Appreciate you guys.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.